When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. I just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
A beautiful woman with the sweetest gifts. Beautiful sunrise and an evening kiss. Of a nice sunset on the evening season. But she tell me say she tired. Tired of the exploit and the liars. She give them reggae, give them beaches, give them flowers and the ferns. All she got is abuse in return. But I say, don't you worry yourself, mama. Hey, Chronix is here to your help, mama. Ooh, I said, no worry yourself, mommy. One thing me, I beg you do for me. And I say, smile, girl, smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. And I said, smile, girl, smile. Hey, smile for me, Jamaica. Never you cry, here am I. Girl, I'm here for you, Jamaica. What must I try? Oh my. That she asks me. And this is what me say. A sweet, sweet Chronix, you forgive them, give them. The one drop beat pan a rhythm, rhythm. Are you give them bob with a different stepping? Are you give them bolt, nobody can run left him. Boy, but see ya, they must see you say you're out of ideas. You give them art and sweet literature. You're gonna make the world see the better picture. I said no worry yourself, mama. Chronix is here to your help, mama. Hey, I said no worry yourself, mommy. One thing me I beg you do for me. And I said smile, yeah, smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. And I said smile, yeah, smile. Smile for me, Jamaica. Never you cry, here am I. Whoa, for me, Jamaica. And I said smile, boy, in the day, boy,
work to be done, so let's do it a little by little. Rise from your sleepless slumber. Yes, 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 yes. We're more than sand and the seashore. We're more than numbers. All together now. Wake up and live. Wake up and live now. You see one cocoa full of basket. Already you see live big today. Tomorrow you're buried in a casket. One cocoa full of basket. Yeah, yes. Already you see live big today. Tomorrow you're buried in a casket. One together now. Wake up and live. Wake up and live. Keep on playing. Yeah, yeah. Break it down. Come on now. How's the feeling over there? Wake up. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on now. You gotta wake up and live. Life is one big road with lots of signs. Yes. So when you're riding through the ruts, don't you complicate your mind. Free from hate, mischief and jealousy. Don't bury your dog, put your dream to reality. Yeah. Walk together now. Wake up and live. Yeah. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. It's not all that glitter is gold. Half the story had never been told. So now you see the light. Hey, stand up for your right. Come on, get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up.
sick and tired of your ism, schism, game, dine and go to heaven in Jesus' name, Lord. We know and we understand. Almighty God is a living man. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So now we see the light. We gonna stand up for our rights. Yeah. So you better get up, stand up in the morning. Give it up, stand up for your rights. Stand up right now. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Don't give it up, don't give it up. Get up, stand up. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
I've got you on my mind. And now you are here together. It's okay to see what we can do, baby. Just me and you, come on and stir it up. I would say, little darling.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection, coming to you live from our studios at Bess FM in Kingston, Jamaica. Good morning to those who have joined us on air, those who have joined us online, we welcome you. And good morning to those in the studio, to the engineer and the producer, and my co-host, Mr. Percival Palmer. Calling him Mr. today because...
Me no Mr. Me still Mass Percy.
Mass Percy. Mass Pastor Percy. How is that? Double honor.
Boy, I tell you.
Double honor. This is your host, Minett Lawrence. And of course, your co-host, Mass Percy.
Good morning, and we
Mass
greet
Pastor.
all of those, and we greet all of our heroes out there in Jamaica. Thank you very much for the work that you continue to do. After Heroes Day yesterday, and all those persons who have received those national honors, we thank God for them and for what they have contributed to national development. But remember, you are a hero, because God indeed has placed in your heart a big dream. He has given to you your purpose. Indeed, He's with you, and you're your hero. So I celebrate you this morning. Good morning.
Good morning again. We're just in time to say, stay with us. We will be right back. It's the 6:30 break.
Listen to Bess 100. Wanted. Numbers are really and warning. Button don't, tie don't, everything. Lift appliances and furniture off the ground and secure your valuable items. If you wanna boat, secure it on land and turn on your yard if you a fisherman. Make sure you turn off every breaker, and before you sleep, turn off your generator. Flooding, that is a real danger. If you live a gully bank, river bank, or low line area, if you see flood waters are rising, get out, get out. Heed the warning. If your land starts slipping and a sliding, get out, get out. Heed the warning. Hurricanes gonna happen, so be prepared.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi style?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience, and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
I try calling, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Pastor Percival, your microphone okay?
I think so.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
What are you leading us with this morning?
Over the weekend.
Yes, the long weekend.
It's a long weekend. One of the things that struck me, the passage out of Isaiah and Luke 4:18, when Jesus went into the temple and they gave him the scroll and he read from Isaiah 61. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me, and he spoke to different things in terms of what it would do in a person's life. And it happens at different levels in terms of the transformation, because that's what he was really speaking to, that when his kingdom came, it would lead to transformation first of the individual in terms of their heart condition, in terms of their priorities. It would lead to transformation in terms of relationships that would have with each other, which goes to the community. It would lead to transformation in terms of cities or culture, and ultimately lead to transformation of nations. So you see how he built it? Mm-hmm. Because when we were created, we were put at the crowning point of God's creation. So any change that really begins with a change of heart of the individual. So the Spirit of the Lord is upon it because he has anointed me. And it speaks to transformation of the individual. If there's a transformation internally, there must be an outflowing externally, which it means this transformation affects your relationships. And if it affects your relationships, then it is beginning to affect where you live. It is beginning to affect culture, because culture is what people do and say on a daily basis. And if there's transformation of culture, there is a transformation of our society on a whole. So we must not make light of what happens when there's a change of heart and mindset in regards to people. One person can bring about real change. And we have seen that happen a lot of times in terms of persons and culture, and what it means to the people they interact with. So I saluted those of us who are heroes. Become a hero in your own life. Become your hero. Become the person that is championing the rights that you have, those inalienable rights that have been given to you by God, and accept what God has said and see the process flow from internal to external to bring about real change. Martin Luther King Jr., Haile Selassie, and that go on terms of Mahatma Gandhi, all the persons who were willing to dream based on the interaction that they've had with their creator and bring about change. What say you? You think that you are in that place, that because you've been transformed internally, then now you begin to transform what is happening externally and changing culture?
Confession?
I don't know.
Confession time?
I don't know if it's confession time, but
I was listening to you with great interest, especially as you spoke about the power of one.
Yes.
To bring about change. And I was looking with some reflection on a word used in the headline on one of the front page. I see you looking at the word legacy used by Mrs. Fraser Price as she acknowledges and I guess shows appreciation for the award that has been conferred on her. And she talks about building a legacy for her son. Look at the word legacy, and I'm thinking, because she's so young to be talking about legacy, but she's focused on paying something forward that of which her next generation can be proud
of what she's done.
The contribution she's made, the impact she's had, because legacy is about impact, and the best legacies are the ones that produce positive impact. I was thinking that in all these things, because her path of excellence began way before she had a child, and I doubt that she was striving and performing at a certain level in anticipation of creating a legacy for a child. So I was thinking that once the change occurs within, it has its own energy that drives you to perform at a certain level. And you are not even thinking about impact as much as you're thinking about giving birth.
True.
It's the nature of anything that gestates, that as the life of the thing becomes autonomous of the womb, as it develops its own energy, it pushes to come out.
True.
And that internal transformation that you speak about sets in motion things that are frequently beyond the control of the mover. And that's what was occupying my mind, that it has a life of its own. I wish I could shut up, but I can't shut up. Many people say, why doesn't Minett shut up? Who are the many people? I hear that there are some people who say, why doesn't Minett keep quiet? I can't keep quiet. And I dare say the same applies to you in your calling and the inspiration that you have to share something. The first thing is that the ideas that you get and the motivation you feel is such a force in and of itself that it pushes itself out. I mean, you would like to put your hand over your mouth and close your eyes and not see and not think. But these things, it would drive you mad if you tried to shut it in. And I recall from scripture, this is something that I often quote myself.
If I shut up in your book.
When the Pharisees were saying to Jesus, why don't you keep your people quiet? And he says, if they keep quiet, the stones would cry.
When he was triumphantly entering into, and they were shouting, Hosanna, Hosanna. Blessed be the name of he who comes in the name of the Lord.
Yeah.
You know, as you said, that I was at a funeral on Saturday.
Say funeral.
Yes, and I gave a tribute on behalf of our fellowship, because this lady had passed. Her name is Joy Boland. Condolences continue to pour in from around the world, actually, to her family and those persons. But I use the word legacy in terms of the impact that she's had in her community and persons' lives who she's just touched, and you could hear the stories. One of the things I often do when I do funerals is to look at the audience, to look at who are in the audience. And it is very telling when you have a funeral and you see every age group represented at the funeral. You know, you got some funerals and somebody old has passed. You see a lot of older folk. When you go to a funeral and you see young, old, everybody, and there's not a dry eye in the house, you understand, you begin to understand who the person was.
Impact.
And that is like the story. She was a real hero. She worked with the Jamaica Library Service, and then she worked at 2 high schools. And people from overseas were saying, I just saw her, and I just went up to her and says, you can't take me home with you? And the story is that she did, and she had them in her house, and she nurtured them, and she then released them into life. And the stories were abounding in terms of persons. And that's what you call legacy. It is a lasting impact on generations. And some people, legacy is a lasting impact on the world. It is a gift that is passed on through generations. Some people think of...
So maybe a posthumous award for her?
It probably is, because when you see the persons, there's not a dry eye in the house. And I you know, me love ball already.
So you were...
yeah, I was gave the tribute. That wasn't a baller.
You were a baller on the weekend?
Tears came to my eyes, and in terms of...
It's
always
about,
a kind
it is
word.
about honor.
Yes.
It's about honor. Of course, on the weekend, for those who keep an eye on those things, the National Jamaican Honor and Awards ceremony took place.
Right. Over 200 persons. 241.
Yes. Which is a credit to the nation. As you spoke about that lady and emphasized that she is an unsung hero.
In terms of...
There are many unsung heroes.
All over the place.
Yes. And we can't... Not everyone is going to be given something by the Governor General or the President of the Republic.
Yes.
But we do want to acknowledge that the many persons who are the salt and the light in this nation are deserving of honor, but that honor needs to come. Morning. That honor needs to come from us.
Yes. I mean, so in agreement.
It's we the people
yeah.
who need to honor them.
One of the stories was they received the badge of honor for gallantry, where these 4 colleagues were driving in a car, and they saw the car, and they saw the young 12-year-old's foot hanging out, door open. And instinctively the lady said, follow him, follow the taxi. And they just started to follow the taxi. And started to blow their horn and thing. The next thing was that the taxi driver was seeking to kidnap the 12-year-old young lady. The 12-year-old schoolgirl threw her to the car and then took her to the police station. And somebody said, what me did have a gun? They said, we don't know, we just
yes, you see what I mean? Okay, so you see what I mean about the thing that pushes to come out.
Yes.
You can't stop it.
Yeah, man, it just, and they were saying, when it all was over and the young lady was safe and all of that, the taxi, whoever it was trying to kidnap her.
Yeah.
And the lady saw it and said something strange. And they said, no, follow the
At the very least, there's a danger to the child by the foot hanging out.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you'll find, but you're motivated to sort of go all out.
Yeah, so those are the kind of heroes that the persons who see something happening, even at risk to life and limb, will respond.
Well, it's a good thing they didn't throw her out in the path of the car.
Yes.
But God is merciful.
Yes,
There's a reason why he set that in motion. There's another hero, and this story is not a credit to us, because, as I said, we are the ones who should show honor when persons do remarkable things. This is a man in his 60s, homeless, and the Gleaner story this morning is that 8 months after he made a life-saving call to the police notifying them that one of theirs had been shot and left to die in the bush, he's still homeless and struggling. And they describe what transpired. He discovered a severely injured man lying in bushes along the road. What's of interest is his explanation of how he proceeded. He was reluctant to assist. He didn't want to invite trouble into his already stressful life. He stopped to take a closer look, discovered that the person was alive, and the injured man whispered to him a request for help. And he began questioning the man, oh, you come to be here, are you friend or foe? I can imagine that was have crossed his mind. The policeman told him to check his pocket for his identification card. And this is now what the homeless man says. Me say, and me you want to put in trouble? Him say, no, me just need help. Me did always want to help him, but me was afraid of getting me fingerprint on him. Can you imagine? That this is like a Good Samaritan story with a lot of flair, because each person that passes someone who needs help has a reservation, has a concern about their security, their well-being, their standing, which you have to overcome in order to give the humanitarian response. And you remember the priest who passed, we know that the norms of the day said you can't touch a dead body or it's unclean. Or now here in Jamaica of today, a homeless man who is already of low standing is afraid that he would get in trouble if he got his fingerprint on him. So you see now it highlights our own mistrust of our own systems, yes, because if you are afraid to touch a man because you don't want to end up being implicated in his
demise, and says you do it.
And says you do it, yes. Anyway, we're thankful. He persevered and did what was necessary, and he received the badge of honor for gallantry during yesterday's ceremony of investiture and presentation of national honors. Go on, say it. I know you want to say it.
Of the badge of honor for gallantry.
Yes.
Going back to nowhere.
Going back to the bush to pin it up on a tree. You see, now we talk about honor. This now is where I am going to quote Prince Machiavelli before Pastor does. This is the appearance of virtue instead of the virtue itself. When you give a homeless person a badge of honor for gallantry,
one of those houses somewhere.
One of them houses that the Prime Minister cutting ribbon on every morning, or whatever seasonal ribbon cutting schedule he has, that man should have been, forget even the Prime Minister, the police fraternity
should have said, yeah,
who are always calling for citizens to show them the love, the respect, and the honor that they deserve. Make no bones about it.
They deserve it.
Our policemen deserve it. And they should not become disentitled because of the errors, the messes of the one or two who create such startling headlines like the young man who is currently on trial for the murder and disappearance of his young lady friend. So, come on, police fraternity, one of your own, was given a chance at life by a man who continues to be homeless. How do we honor those in whom we take pleasure? Where was that question asked famously? The king asked Haman.
Okay, yes, yes.
Oh, what does the king do for a man in whom he delights?
And the man says,
honor him.
You honor him. You put him on a horse.
Dress him in your own robes.
And walk him through the city.
With someone crying. This is what is done for the man whom the king delights.
My Lord have mercy.
Yes, but really of a fact,
Esther,
what do we do?
Esther.
And so it goes back to what you were saying earlier about the internal transformation manifesting outwardly in what we do. Where we are people with heart, and by this I'm looking now at those who have the responsibility for the public purse and who could decide on a discretionary basis that a man in whom the nation delights should not be homeless. Should not be homeless. I'm wondering how he managed to get himself properly attired to be in that place of honor. What? Somebody picked him up the evening before and took him to a spa and dressed him, because there's a picture of him which looks quite clean and put together.
Is that picture of him?
Mm-hmm.
No. Where is he?
If you look on the paper, you'll see. Find the page. You'll see it. He had the presence of mind, despite his own condition of lack, to run out to the roadside, flag down a vehicle, and he forced a truck driver to make a sudden stop. Isn't that him?
Yes.
In jacket and tie with his badge of honor?
Yes.
All right. So where does he go? When he left up there, where did he go?
It's a question.
It's a question that is teasing my mind. He apologized to the truck driver for his action, informed the driver and passengers that there was an injured officer who needed assistance. You see how much he did? He said that he asked them to place a phone call. After placing the call, he returned to the injured officer. Oh, come on. Isn't this the Good Samaritan all over again?
It is, man.
I talked to him to keep him up so that him don't knock out. I told him that I called help for you. Hold on and breathe slowly. Help is on the way. He said a few minutes later, the man's colleagues arrived but could not secure an ambulance. So you see now in this country, it's not as if they could find an ambulance for the policeman. All of us.
I'm flagging down the truck and tell it. So the truck carried the man go to the hospital?
Yeah, they called the fire brigade.
Okay.
And the fire brigade dispatched an ambulance to transport the injured cop to the hospital. And he survived the shooting. Thorpe said that he felt blessed to have been recognized with the award on Monday, and noted that he remains in contact with the lawman who was reportedly left paralyzed by the shooting. But for Thorpe, who is the father of 8, his joy is short-lived. He told the Gleaner that he continues to live in bushes in the area. An unfinished house he occupied in Greenwich Town in St. Andrew Southwest was burglarized. He lost his TRN and NIS cards along with appliances in that incident. So just look at this story. Is a minefield, a rich storehouse of all the things that we need to give a priority to and address in our nation. This man is a hero, acknowledged to be so by the highest authorities in our country, yet everything in his experience would say that he would have been unfit. He's homeless. His home was burglarized and he lost all his things. He has 8 children and it seems none of them are being a blessing to him right now. And he says, I live in the farm bush, and he's in his 60s. I do everything in the bush. I sleep there, I bathe there, I cook there. If I have to bathe, I do it outside where people pass and see me. I'm not comfortable. And I'm asking them if they could help me to get a food for the poor house where I can live comfortably, Thorpe said. I applaud the Gleaner for writing this in such a detail. They could have been short on the details, but they are provoking the conscience of this nation, so that even as we are honoring the acts of bravery, gallantry, great contribution of the many, we are actually doing the things that matter, that bring a relief to persons who deserve it. This man deserves it not because he saved the life of a policeman. He deserves it because he's a Jamaican man of mature years, so there are many things pulling for him. The elderly, pensioners, persons of pensionable age are not receiving a fair shake in this nation.
Okay.
And he's the poster child for that. And despite the hardship and the lack and so on and so forth, he has he's the poster child for doing good and fainting not. Because he could have been weary of that. He could pass and say, well, listen, man, you know, I envy you your close opportunity to meet your Savior. Because the Apostle Paul said to die is gain.
As you speak about that, remember last week in terms of the comment, the headline was he's looking forward to his legacy.
Yes.
The green the editor said, "Now that the PM is liberated." What is that? They're liberated from what? Seem to have no pressure to listen to anybody.
I'm sure that is tongue in cheek.
I know it is.
Enjoy reading it.
Yeah.
Yesterday, while just kind of noting the various awards and so on, I had a conversation with a fairly young Jamaican, and I was pointing out that in my research, these national awards and honors were first instituted to recognize the work of civil servants. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes. They're not. A question arose about other, civilians who have contributed, but I've forgotten what the precise question was. But it is much the way it, of course, began, as all things do in our society, with the Queen of England and the things that transpire in her court, where you give these special awards to recognize great service to the crown. And oftentimes it's accompanied by land grants and positions to build loyalty and allegiance. I was making the point to my young relative yesterday that when you choose a life of service to the public, which denies you oftentimes the opportunity to do well commercially because you are serving the greater good. One way of recognizing the sacrifice is to confer these honors, which really, I don't know if even the badge you get or anything you get is worth much in and of itself. Like, is it, 1 ounce of gold? You get my drift.
Yeah.
Right. But it is a good way to show appreciation. The nation stands behind this show of appreciation to civil servants. But there are a few categories that are open to the public. So persons from the public can be nominated, yes, to share in these national honors. So, when you look at like a minister of government being awarded a national honor, don't think, why is he getting it? They're all no good. Or don't think, why is he or she being honored? They were just doing a job. It is a recognition by the nation that by reserving yourself to do a job for the benefit of the public, you have sacrificed your personal ambitions for wealth and, career advancement. I want to put that in the mix because many of us are unclear as to why we see 200 and odd
41
persons, most of whom are civil servants, and we have our different feelings about either the integrity or the contribution of government as a whole, and you might feel like they're giving themselves pats on the back, and what for? But the civil service is filled with men and women who sacrifice personal ambition in order to be a part of serving the nation. Time for a 7 o'clock break. I got the look from my public servant over there. I honor you, sir. Let's take our break.
A difference you can hear. A difference you can feel.
Bess FM. Keep listening.
Today, many persons benefit from what is known as installment lending from financial institutions, such as car loans and mortgage. Also, in our schools today, many primary and secondary students are active members of the Builders and Key Clubs. What do these completely unrelated ideas have in common? Mr. Lloyd Distant. You see, Mr. Distant was part of the team that introduced both of these concepts to Jamaica. Stick around to hear his story. A developer of leaders and philanthropist are some of the words that can describe Mr. Lloyd Distant. He says the mindset to give back to his community all started when he was a child growing up in Hannahtown, Kingston.
Well, I think the motivation came from my parents. From I was small, we had to do things in terms of giving back. I remember in particular the Salvation Army School for the Blind on Slightland Road. and we lived in Hannatown. And every Sunday I had to take 2 blind men to church. So I'd go for them, take them to church, and then I have to take them back. Even at Excelsior, I was involved in activities in relation to the community because Excelsior at the time was just established on Mountain View Avenue. So we were new in the area, but we did things in the community.
Professionally, Mr. Distant has carved out a long and distinguished career in the field of banking. After completing studies in the United Kingdom, he was part of a team sent to Jamaica to introduce a new banking concept called installment lending.
Well, for starters, the opportunity was there to impact individuals' lives, those who would not normally have had a chance to obtain bank financing. One area which was of particular interest was providing small business financing outside of the installment lending, but general banking facilities to small and medium-sized business that were growing. In the late 1970s, both Mr. Fuchs and I concentrated a great deal on providing financing for small business.
Though he is proud of his professional achievements, he is especially gratified by his community service activities, which include time at the St. John Ambulance Brigade. He also served as board member of the Excelsior Communication Center and has been a long-time member of the Kiwanis Club in Jamaica.
For my part, I felt that my work could be at the community level generally, but my emphasis was on the leadership development aspects of Kiwanis, and that was given through the establishment of builders clubs at the primary level. At the high school level, we had the key clubs, and at the tertiary level, the Circle K clubs. When I was Lieutenant Governor, I took the decision that I would encourage the clubs to concentrate on the establishment of these sponsored youth groups.
For outstanding voluntary service and outstanding contribution to the banking industry, Mr. Lloyd Distant has been conferred with membership in the Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander.
Total surprise. I had become aware that previously my club had made a submission, which was not successful, but I was not aware that they had made another submission. So I was surprised when I learned, but I was, of course, very happy.
Friend Douglas Fawkes, who worked with Mr. Distant at the Royal Bank of Canada, says the honor is well deserved.
Arguably, I can't think of anybody else, certainly not in Kiwanis, and even within the service club organizations, that would have done more for the movement in Jamaica in my time than Lloyd Distant. This is a man who started nearly, about 50 years ago, and he has been continuous in terms of his involvement, in terms of his very dedicated. He hasn't been a bench warmer. He was a man of action, and a man who, having started 50 years, he stayed the course.
Mr. Distant accepted his insignia from Governor General Sir Patrick Allen during the ceremony of investiture and presentation of national honors and awards on National Heroes Day, Monday, October 17.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
A difference you can hear.
Bess FM, keep listening.
Come in, my DJ,
and give the people the information. Hear this: before a hurricane come, you have to go through a list of things where you need and things where have to fix, like your roof, your doors and your window them. Buy your nails, hooks and fasteners and fix them. Get your hammer, your pliers, your rope and your wire. Stack up with ply and a whole heap of lumber. Plastic tarpaulin and plastic bag. Percival stove and a coal stove. Kerosene lamp, matches and candle. Yo, trim the tree them and clean the drains. That's how you prepare before a hurricane. Be prepared. Prevention is better than cure. Better listen to ADPEM.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
Believe me, it's so easy.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi style?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto FM. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
I try calling cause trust me.
Winters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
Call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Yes, indeed, it's redemption time with Apostle Clive Campbell presenting a life-changing, life-challenging message to encourage, inspire, and motivate you towards your destiny. Every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. and on Saturday from 9 o'clock until 10, right here on Bess100 FM. It's redemption time.
I'm standing firm.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. We have been talking about national honors, and we've been talking about just the law of honor, which is in and of itself one of the principles that emanate from the throne of God.
From the kingdom.
From
kingdom
yes.
principles.
And there's a law behind it. Honor attracts favor.
It does.
Let's start with that. When you honor those whom you want to show your appreciation for their contribution, you draw the favor of the honoree, him or herself, and you draw the favor of others who observe and see that there you have standards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm commenting on it in the context of Madame Fraser Price's comments as she received the honor that was conferred on her. And as we look at the situation with the homeless man who proved himself a hero and for whom there has been no honor.
No, man, they honor him with that word, but they
No.
need the greater honor.
This is why we're going into it. This is why we're going into it now. When you look at Mrs. Fraser Price, who continues to impress both on the field and off the field. I was drawn to the headline that used the word legacy. And, you know, we all saw her beautifully and stylishly attired. And I'm expecting to hear that she was wearing one of her own fashion creations, because I perceive that she is getting into the lifestyle branding industry, which allows you to do everything from here to perfume to fashion design. And I think she's very well placed to convert.
She has a third in terms of she has a
to convert
store
her.
here and that kind of thing.
Yes, but I'm talking about now, like what Rihanna has done.
Okay.
Barbadian hero.
Yes.
Heroine. I'm talking about that, where now you go into branding, putting your name against, you know, significant fashion assets,
pocket
design, you know, a line of leisure wear, which is what I could see her doing easily, and fashion design, her own line of garments. But watching her and then hearing her explanation of what was going through her mind, she says, as she crossed the stage on Monday to be officially inducted into the Order of Jamaica, and that's what the 4th highest ranked order, I understand, her son Zion consumed her thoughts. In that moment, the 35-year-old multi-Olympic and World Championship gold medalist was satisfied that she had created a legacy and had set an example for her 5-year-old son to emulate. She went on to explain, I'm hoping that the legacy that I leave behind for him will help him to have a bright future, to trust in his abilities, and just to continue to dream, because his mommy accomplished so much, and I'm hoping that he'll use it as a stepping stone to the future. Isn't that just amazing?
Sounds like Shelly and true. That's how she is.
I mean,
she have good art, you know. She have good art.
That is a reflection. You see, you talk about the outpouring of the internal
to the external.
Yes, this is being manifested in her words, and so simply put,
she's so
she could have talked about being an inspiration to the many young people all over the world who, no, she just looked at one 5-year-old child, her blood, and said, I want him to dream. I can trust myself in doing this. My mommy accomplished so much. And then she went on to make the comments now that I believe ranks her or position her to be truly an agent of change. She commented, she says, growing up, I never really had much of a dream. When we were talking about culture and the importance of culture, I had brought up some social scientist research and learning on the importance of dreaming. And how do we inculcate and foster, nurture the dreams of the young? And how do you stay, how do you dream in a desert? You're not hallucinating, no. It's not a mirage. How do you dream when you're in a dry, arid place that does not in and of itself give you a toehold, just anything on which you could attach, to which you could attach a dream? Growing up, she said she never had much of a dream. I didn't see a future. Now, for those who want to know what's going on in the minds of those in the inner city communities and all this social intervention and the multi-million-dollar expenditures that we make, here's a young lady. You can put away your pocketbook for that item. Here's someone who is saying, I didn't dream because of the environment that I was in. I just never had hope. You know, the one that spring eternal in the breast of man? She never had hope. But being in this position right now has definitely shown me that if you continue to believe and trust that God has something more for you,
purpose,
and to work hard, followed by the work of the hand, and be diligent in your work, something good will come. This is something good. And I'm grateful for the acknowledgement and being able to celebrate with family and friends, she says. Now, I kind of went a little deep into what she was saying because not everyone, we're not all a Zion, meaning we're not all the child of a track phenom.
True.
Many of us will have to choose our role models and look outside of our family line for inspiration. And I'm telling you this morning that if you want to pick up a starting point in a human being, this young lady has used some words and made some connections that are inescapable. I mean, everybody knows the community she's from. She's never there. That young lady has never
rejected her
been shy to say, "This is where I'm from." Yeah.
And then you see all of what she has done. One of the things that I find with people who continue to sustain themselves, they never forget their roots. They never forget their roots. They are forever grateful. It works for them as an anchor. They never become too proud that they disown their roots. Some people I know in Jamaica, you know where they come from, but you see them, I said, they don't want it to know that's where they come from. But they never forget their roots. They are always going back, giving back. They are grateful. They are gracious. And they just enjoy life. But those things, being gracious, never forgetting your roots, those things, and exercising faith and walking in purpose, help people to keep renewing themselves because they know where their real source of strength is. In Psalms 20, some trust in chariots and some in horses. But we remember the name of the Lord. They're brought down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright because you are firmly rooted and grounded in the source of everything. But I 2009, my mind goes back to 2009, Berlin, in that stadium, over the part, the warm-up track. I worked at that World Championship, officially credited as an international chaplain, so I had access to different places. So I was worked with Caribbean teams, but especially Jamaican, because I known a lot of these athletes from junior. And I remember she was so nervous. And she came up to me and said, "Rev, you can pray for me?" I said, "No problem, my dear." And prayed, and the rest is history. In terms of all of what has happened with her. But she's just remained grounded.
So do you get to keep the medal for 6 months?
Which medal?
The one that she got after
no,
you
sir,
prayed.
Not about these medals. No, it's about, truly, you know, it is about just supporting people and encouraging them. You know, man, you know what? Never. And, you know, part of our creed, you know, is to just encourage people. You don't ask for no favors.
This is the pastor's creed?
Yeah, in terms of you're just serving people, you're there just to serve them as international chaplains.
What is the pastor's creed?
The ethics, you serve people.
Do you have a code of conduct?
Yes, we have a code of conduct.
That's developed internally by your
us.
church family?
No, by the International Sports Coalition. In terms of those
you mean for those who come on board
who serve in the Olympics or serve in the games, whatever.
No, I thought I was asking if you have a code of conduct that is introduced and monitored by your church family.
Yes, that's true.
Is there one?
Yes, there's one. There's one, and then internationally we serve in that thing. We also, those of us who do that kind of ministry, we serve. We're there just to serve, to facilitate the athlete, their families, the associated personnel, because everybody, I believe, has a faith walk, whatever it is, just to support people. But I'm just so overjoyed for her in terms of how she just continues just to do well and to do excellently and to be a champion for persons. Yeah. Your favorite columnist?
Yes, I'm looking at what Gordon Robinson is saying about the Broadcasting Commission's ban on the lyrics and words that glorify and promote, certain
All
things.
those things.
Yes. I'm looking forward actually to speaking to the Broadcasting Commission's chief servant.
You mean Mr. Green?
Mr. Green, yes. I'd reached out to him and he was still in Geneva at the
Okay.
time. But I did see reported in the media an interview where he spoke about reluctantly stepping into the mix because he said the stations, the licensees who put matters on the public airwave have dropped the ball.
For responsibility.
That's what he said, that they have dropped the ball. Many people have dropped the ball, but there are few institutions of government that can put regulation in place to force us to pick up the ball. They drop the ball.
No, but you some of the times you
I
wonder
applaud
to
him for
shift.
trying.
Some of the times you in terms of shifting
Yes.
where we're at, you wonder if when our lawmakers are enacting these laws or doing these things, what is their motivation for doing it? You've often said to me, you only put in law if the policy that is there, people not taking it out. You want to talk about that again? The different policy and how policy should come from the people and the people should of their own accord. So it's something good. So you don't have to put in law because there's a kind of self-governing aspect to it.
Absolutely, yes.
So you see me, I learned.
Yes, you remember well. Even the word policy, the poly part of it, comes from the body politic.
Yes.
The police or the people.
Yes.
So it is true that policy emanates from, it's like the best practices that you would pull out of all that people are doing in the swarm. And it rises to the top and you say, this is how we want to see these things done. And it is generally made up of the norms, the rules, the understandings that the majority of people find to be acceptable and effective in governing whatever the subject matter might be. If you find that the policy is being breached to the extent that the policy is now at risk, one of two things will happen. If those who breach it have the sufficient power and authority, then the new system which they are desirous of introducing will become the policy. And you've seen me draw the box and talk about my life on the edge where change is occurring. I am generally a disruptive element, meaning I am an agent of change. So many of us are that. We stay at the point where we see what's not working in the established norm, what the people are doing now, and we seek to push for the change to be introduced that can be an improvement over what's not working. If the policy is sound and the one or two lawbreakers or policy breakers do not have the authority to bring about an overwhelming change, then the policy moves up into law. Now you say, this is so important. We're not waiting on people to just do it voluntarily or because common sense dictates it. We are going to make it mandatory. And so laws, I was looking at that scripture which says that the law is made, as the Apostle Paul explaining, that laws are made for criminals, for those who break law. It's not made for those who obey, because the one who obey need no compulsion.
That's correct.
It is for the wrongdoer. So if the policy is under threat, you escalate now and you create a law that makes it mandatory that certain things are done. And you test that law for its efficacy by how people respond. And the punishment and the enforcement mechanisms and so on become an important part of testing the effectiveness of the law.
Is that why you have some of the laws here, but they go ahead and do amendments to it because they notice
Absolutely.
they never picked up that. So,
Yes.
we've seen that, so let's
Yes.
make the amendment to it. But what happens, the bigger question is, what happens if the persons who are enacting the policy and the law are at odds with the people who they're enacting it for, where they're out of synchronization?
Do you know the word coup?
coup
They have
d'etat.
a coup d'etat. Then no, when that happens, something has to change. And you know, we were jesting back and forth last week about the science behind the recognition that matter, indestructible matter, is always changing. It never stays the same. It mutates from one to next. It's just like power. Power is energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It is transferred. It
From one
mutates
end
from
to
one right.
another.
So the power that the people have to elect and appoint and reject and change, when that power is transferred to the leaders, because that's what we do. We take our will, our energy to make things happen for ourselves, and we invest it in a group of people, in this case, the 63, and we say, we trust you with this here. We give you a power pack. Go forth and do.
On our behalf.
And on our behalf. When they hold the power hostage, abuse it, treat with it as they have a mind, and we are busy fighting to try and get it back, there will come a point when all of us are sufficiently motivated. Yes. The time come moment when everybody say, you know what, enough of that.
Yeah, but that's what's happening in Iran.
And you take it by fire or force.
But you know what's happening in Iran?
Yes.
Because it...
I knew that they would come. Anyway, you go on.
No, but I just find it so fascinating.
It always comes. It might be long in coming,
yeah,
but it comes.
And what it takes is, they have what they call it, the police. What kind of police I call them again? The morality police, who takes this young lady into custody because of
She's not wearing her hijab.
No, she was wearing it, but not the way that they say she should wear it. And then she dies. And just having protests just continuous.
Just
and
keeps it escalating.
And even though people are dying, people are being arrested, people are being molested, they don't know what to do.
Because at that point we were making earlier, Percival, when that force builds up inside of you, there's no stopping it. It's a flood. It's the tsunami that you talk about, and it ebbs and flow. If the spirit dies in me, the energy is transferred to you. And as long as there is a person standing who can absorb it and express it, it moves to that person. You know, when America was pulling out of the Middle East, Iran.
Yeah. When they were forced out.
When they announced it as if it was of their own will.
People pushed them.
But I said they must leave. They were there for 20 years and had, I would say, zero positive impact.
You mean Afghanistan? Yeah.
They were there for 20 years. Right. Yeah. And, I said, you have to step back and let people claim their own destiny. Fight for it. If women have to die and children have to suffer and men have to suffer, until that happens, and the same is true for us. The same is true for us.
And I thought they would have learned from the fact that the Russians were there and they had to run, leave it, and then go take it.
Because you cannot do it in your own strength, and that is a lesson that mankind, we hit our head against the wall 1,000 times trying to absorb that lesson and thinking we can escape it. You got to learn for yourself. There are some things that are not free. The word free in freedom don't mean it free. You fight for it.
Somebody pay for it.
Absolutely. And the best freedom is the one that you eke out for yourself.
So it's sustained.
Absolutely.
Come to the break.
Yes, 7:31.
A difference you can hear. A difference you can feel.
Bess FM-100 on your dial. Keep listening.
One in. A hurricane we name. How we rough. Whether we are man hurricane or woman hurricane. We want you know that. We come here to mash up building, blow down things and just like flood out this. We no ram. We no respect no one. So no take no chance with we. Listen to Ad Prem and prepare. Hurricanes do happen. So be prepared. Yes. Be prepared. A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
Call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi style?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto FM. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
I try and call it, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
All right. Good morning and welcome back. As we get into the last segment before we begin to take your calls, I just want to share one or two things that are being expressed on our chat. It is really noteworthy. Straight Up had this to say. Good morning. Hope your day off was good. Yes, it was. He said, did you notice that the Integrity Commission only hit wholeness when they knew that the holiday would delay and dampen the impact? And then he says, I may seem obsessed with this, but if my integrity came under question every year while I was a civil servant, I would have been fired. I love the honesty of it, but he's raised one of the issues that's definitely on our list, and we know callers are going to jump into it. So we'll just say here.
So then hit him already.
No, so you know that the Integrity Commission, the act under which they operate, gags them. They're not permitted to comment on certain things, and their report really goes to Parliament because they are a commission of Parliament, and said they don't answer to the people. Parliament should answer to the people when a general election is called. But outside of that, we are pretty much not a part of the process.
We're not invited into the process.
Yeah, we're not invited into the process.
And they do any, and they go in and they say.
So we've all seen the reports that the leader of the opposition has dutifully filed a report which was observed, vetted, whatever, by the Integrity Commission, and it was sufficiently cogent for them to publish it as required.
So what happened now?
Not so for the chief servant. The Prime Minister's own continues to be under review. We know the standards. We know, for example, that the Integrity Commission can do no more than say no comment. But there's much we can intuit from their silence. And it brings into sharp focus for yet another time the situation we find ourselves in regarding integrity, the fight against corruption, the appearance
of virtue.
What would you like to finish that? I know that's one of your pets.
The appearance of virtue for what it is, with no real intention to do what is right.
Yeah. May I just say that this morning at 10 a.m., the Morning Connection team will be appearing before the Joint Select Committee that is reviewing the Integrity Commission Act. You may recall that sometime in February, earlier this year, we, through this program, solicited the views and held discussions, a mini public consultation, if you will, with the listeners of this program. And yours truly produced and submitted our opinion, thoughts, perspectives
on what people were saying. So we put it together and we made a submission. So they've invited us. It's like 8 months on.
What does that mean?
8 months on.
Oh
my Lord.
Yes. Long in coming, but it's here. And I think it is of importance that they invited us. I'm going to hazard a guess that other persons have submitted their own input, and I don't believe that they are inviting everybody who send them a letter. What do you think?
I don't know.
We shall find out.
We are just normal folk doing it. I
Yes.
just figure that other people, because I've known of other individuals who have made submissions on different things, like when we're doing the fundamental, to insert that. But I know people actually made submissions in regards to
And were they invited to appear before the committee?
Yeah, they did. They actually did. Like the Lawyers Christian Fellowship, I know did in that instance. That's years ago.
Yeah. Yes, but I don't think they invite everyone, is what I'm saying. I don't think it would be possible. Then no law could be completed.
No, our probably the converse of it is that not many people take it on and go anyway. So you understand?
Right. But we think it's
important.
It's important.
Yes.
We do think it's important, regardless of the outcome. We think it's important. So we're going there, and these comments that we get from our listeners, from those who are online, those who are on air, factor into our thinking and our presentation. We're going to speak about why we are who we are in the first place, and what is a signal part of who we are is that we've come together with our differing perspectives and expertise. Pastor as a member of drawn from the ecumenical community, and myself with legal training and grossly abused in various endeavors. And the producer himself, a man of business and finance we all bear our own scars. And most importantly, we've been listening to you and chatting with you on some of these issues, and we feel that we can capably represent some of what you have been saying on the matters of corruption and integrity, whether the absence of it or the perverted nature of it in places of high authority. That's why we're going. So straight up, I see what you have said, and I'm actually going to share it, that members of the public actually see the announcement of what has transpired as having been timed to deflect criticism and commentary. Now, either we're very cynical or nothing is missing us in that these things, we are onto you. In other words, we're onto you. We're onto the ways in which persons who have authority and should do certain things for the public good orchestrate it so that we are denied the opportunity to have our righteous indignation aroused in an effective way. So we're going to leave the show this morning. We'll stop taking calls by about between 9:10, thereabouts. We'll stop taking calls at 9 o'clock, says the producer. And we will make our exit from the studio. Lloyd has promised to play some righteous music to keep us motivated and to keep you entertained until it is time for the next program to begin. I know you wish us well, and when we open the lines in a short while, I am sure one or two persons are going to give me a message. So the presentation, we're sharing the presentation. I will speak about who we are, and I'll speak about the technical aspects of the legislation, which we have asked for certain amendments and improvements to be done. And Pastor Percival will speak about why we are there, because there is no accident in the workings of the divine to a group of persons, in particular us, with our focus on the principles of the kingdom of God, with our focus on righteousness, justice, honor, the importance of the Constitution as a covenant between state and citizen, and ultimately the fact that all authority that is being exercised in this nation is delegated authority from our Creator, who gave us dominion over this realm and who expects us to exercise that authority in keeping with certain principles. That's who we are. And as we enter into, the halls of Parliament, we carry that with us. So Pastor Percival is going to do a good rousing 4-minute sermon. There's a clock.
There's a clock running. There's a clock
Just so you know, we have limited time, but we do want to say all the things that you have been saying to us. We want to carry the spirit of it. Thank God, spirit defies time and shape and size and things like that.
It was beyond
so so I know we can, by our very appearance, by our choice of words, we will convey that our listeners, the Morning Connection listeners, are hungry to see certain principles return
to the public sphere.
Yeah.
And that's so important. We know as Jamaicans what is right. We know what is just. And so it is important that all persons at all levels understand what is happening and how the expectations of our leaders as how today they need to respond. For me, I simply define integrity as what you say is what you do.
What you do.
Yes, man. Don't say something and don't do it. That means I cannot trust you. That's what it comes down to. And there's such a great trust deficit in our country now that even if people are saying things, we take it with not a grain of salt. We take it with a pound of salt because we don't believe our leaders. We don't believe people come out and speak. And then one of the other factors I think that our leaders do not consider, Jamaica is such a small country that everybody knows everybody. And you have all these watering holes and things that you don't expect to come out. You go there, you hear it, and you go and go, okay. So that is how that one did go down. So it's unfortunate. So we look forward to this opportunity just to speak and believe. This morning I was up early pondering, talking to Father and said, what do you want us to say? Please guide and inspire us in terms of what needs to be said, that it will have lasting impact in terms of the hearers and bring about change in terms of action.
What was the guidance? Am I in keeping?
Yes, man, you're in keeping.
My presentation.
Yeah, man, it is.
Okay. All right. I want to just say, because it's been asked, the meetings can be viewed on the Public Broadcasting Corporation of Jamaica's, what is that? Is that channel they have? Yes. They have a channel on cable TV. On Flow, it is channel 113. On Digicel, it is channel 13. You can see it on Facebook, PBC Jamaica. You can see it on YouTube. Again, user PBC Jamaica. So those of you who want to see what is happening for these meetings, they are streamed live on Facebook, PBC Jamaica, YouTube, again, PBC Jamaica. And if you are at home and you want to use your cable TV, on Flow, it is channel 113, and on Digicel, it is Channel 13. You know, I should write it down and repeat it before we leave, because I think those on whose behalf we are appearing are entitled to see what we get up to. And thank you, Conrad, for expressing an interest in seeing what we do on behalf of our listeners. And I gotta say thank you too to this station, to Bess FM, for giving us the freedom to express ourselves through this program and to do something like this, which can it can help and it can hurt depending on where you sit. Some of the ideas that we are putting forward are fairly radical, in the sense that we're bringing God into Parliament. We are bringing God into Parliament.
They say prayers at the beginning of Parliament and the national anthem and the pledge.
Well, we're bringing him. You're not bringing him?
Yes, man.
Okay.
Always with him.
All right. One of the things, and the way I put it that way, is we have seen many decisions being taken in this country, many laws being made, and it seems like those laws are not the output of consultation with the divine. Like you say, you get up this morning and you ask for guidance. What shall I say when I enter this place? What do you want me to say? Do you get the impression that the utterances in Parliament come from that source?
A lot of times, no.
Yeah, but when I said to you, we're bringing God in Parliament, you said, well, I thought he was always there. Do you see him reflected in the utterances?
Some of the time, not all the time. But
Right.
he's there watching. That's my
Well,
watch, and I said,
he's always the
I
eyes.
said, look
it said
at them, no?
The eyes of God are
everywhere.
always on.
God is watching you.
Yeah.
You know.
So we are going in with a certain focus.
It's funny.
What's
this
funny?
thing of accountability is such a powerful thing, you know.
One segment of our presentation will look at what the public demands of its leaders. And I think it's important to make a clear statement on the expectations of the public. Maybe the leaders are there thinking that the public wants them to be fearless and bold in their decision making, and to say things like, I no longer care what people say, I just want to do what is right
for the nation.
Yeah.
Self-serving.
People don't expect you to say you don't care what they say, you just want to do what is right.
I think it's a self-serving statement on the face of it.
Well, yeah, I dare say. So there's that. When we did the consultation, our focus was to capture the technical aspects of the law that required improvement, and to look closely at the spirit of the law. The spirit of the law is oftentimes reflected in how we position ourselves for enforcement, for teaching and making sure people understand what the law is meant to deliver. And we are not impressed by what we see in this piece of legislation. And even worse
Motivation.
yet, yeah.
What were they thinking?
The heart.
Somebody said, "What when you do that?" Like somebody said, your mother would say to you, "What were you thinking when you did that?"
Yeah. There are some things which the legislation, there are some strategic objectives that were published by those putting forward the legislation. Yes.
Yeah.
One objective, they said, was to improve the Commission's responsiveness to complaints, notifications, and reports. So how you set up your timelines, how much visibility the public have of your internal systems, and the way in which you are prepared to penalize yourself for not meeting those standards becomes important. And I'm borrowing now from one of our listeners who says, who's going to investigate them? Because when they are the main breakers of the law,
to investigate the
who will bell the cat is an age-old question and the subject of many fairy tales. So that is a big deal, even with regards to the Prime Minister's not capable of commenting on our published report. What's the consequence of that? It seems to me like I mean, you know, his 2019 was only published in 2022 or 20, whatever it is. It seems to me that there are some perennial problems that they have no impact, no effect. And then the whole law looks like it has no teeth. The second objective they published was they want to strengthen public bodies and the awareness and compliance with the Commission's policies and regulations. Well, if you want to strengthen public bodies, things like codes of conduct, which they have the power to introduce and to police, should be the order of the day. You know, like how you said you were subject to a code of conduct in order to participate as a chaplain in this international sporting events and so on. Yeah, the Integrity Commission should just right off the bat introduce those. If an institution is slow in putting in its own, you make sure that it gets done, and you have penalties, including disqualification of persons from promotion and advancement when they are not doing their work. Dare we ask for that? It's one of the things that we are asking for on your behalf, or on our behalf. And the third strategic objective they published was to establish systems necessary to improve the Commission's corruption investigative performance. Establish the systems. Well, I don't know if that's an IT-related function or if that's about procedural propriety and structures internal to the organization. We shall find out. But certainly those were the three strategic objectives for the review of the law. Oh, yes, they wanted more power because they want to prosecute independent of the DPP.
And they should be able to.
And I think they should. I think they should because their remit is really quasi criminal, and if they operate effectively before it becomes outright criminal, before a man commits fraud in a corruption charge, he has to breach one of the lower level either confidentiality requirements concerning information that he shouldn't share, or he must have stepped out of bounds in some administrative way.
Small things become big things.
Small things do indeed become big things. Is that a science principle?
It's a principle, isn't it? The small things.
Principle of growth.
If you're grateful in, if you're faithful in small things, then I can give you big things.
Yes.
If you allow for the small things to go the little axe, then when you don't nip it in the bud,
So what's about the law of shrinkage, where big things become small things?
Well, but it happens.
Law of growth, law of shrinkage,
but
multiplication.
That's just what happens.
But it's true. Yeah. There's also the fact too that the Commission has responsibility for three major pieces of legislation in our architecture as guardians of public morality: the Integrity Commission Act, the Protected Disclosures Act, otherwise known as the Whistleblowing Act, and the Corruption Prevention Act. But they are now only looking at the Integrity Commission Act. You have to do all three together.
Why not the protected, the whistleblower, because that is become, and then the corruption prevention.
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of people are saying. If you were to look at issues that are high in terms of people's mind, this issue of corruption.
Corruption is big, way up there.
Big crime and violence, corruption, big items.
Right. So we then we had given them a blow by blow, section by section review of the law and what we were trying to accomplish with our proposed changes. But in the overall, the great concern that we had was the act gave more the appearance of virtue than the substance of it. We as listeners, as observers, were not convinced that the legislation was effective, and the Commission seemed incapable of carrying the weight of its own operations and mandate. So a lot of changes is what we're looking for. So that's what we'll be doing later this morning on your behalf.
But don't we have a period of time that we have to do this, not true? So we'd make those written submissions have gone in.
Oh yeah.
And then we'd pick from it, but to place it in a framework for change. I think that's what we are saying. correct?
Yes, that is what we are saying. I remember too when we were doing this that a lot of persons were talking about what's really the meaning of the words integrity and corruption. Are we at one in understanding what it is? Because it seems like the people are seeing one thing and the leaders are seeing another thing. So that is why one of the issues we're going to look at is what is it that people expect from the leaders? What's our perspective on things like integrity and corruption? What do we expect to see? Just giving it from the people's perspective. Before we go to the 8 o'clock break, I'm going to mention something that Conrad has raised here. He is reminding me, the young prophet from Canada, that he told us a few weeks back that something big was coming. And he says, wait and see, when we asked what it was. And then he's saying, did we not see the drug bust that we all put to rest in 9 days? Conrad, we have not put it to rest. We certainly have not.
Spoke about it up to Thursday last week.
And, you know, the chief policeman who has been speaking on it, Mr. Bailey, was given national awards. I noticed that. He received national awards yesterday. And we are respecting the fact that a massive investigation must be underway.
It was about $3 billion worth of.
Yes, 3 billion
Jamaican dollars or 25 billion.
25 million Jamaican dollars, US dollars worth of cocaine.
Yes.
Yeah, at an international airport, brought in on a private plane. As far as I know, the plane is not being held.
Not being confiscated?
As far as I know, there was no mention of it. So that must mean that something is happening. Something is happening. But, you know, the Lord will not allow it to just go like that. The whole government is going to be on trial for that one. And when I say government, I don't mean like, you know, members of parliament, although that may also be a part of it. But government in terms of our systems of governance and the way we are administering public affairs. That's what I mean.
That's why definitions are important. So that point you made a while ago, what do you need to be clear in what do you mean by corruption? So the lawmakers and the people who live, we're on the same term. I might say you're corrupt and they say, but me I talk about two different things.
Right.
And that's an important thing. Even when I'm doing counseling, I have to clarify to say what you are saying, is this what you mean? So we are on the same level. Because if you don't have that, you're going to have a major problem.
And we'd be talking at cross purposes.
Yes.
For example, what the inequities in the distribution of public goods and services, for all of us as citizens, we see that as corruption. Because if you allow a situation of inequity to persist, it means that you are ignoring a legitimate consideration or you are giving greater weight to something else. And that would corrupt the process. Corrupt here just meaning you have contaminated it. You have shifted it from achieving its obvious and declared purpose. That is what we refer to as corruption. Now, some may say for it to be corruption, it must involve some criminality.
True.
And then it becomes something of a whole different order. We are at the 8 o'clock break. Please remember the numbers to call us when we open the lines are 619-1508 and 279-8473. We'll take the break and then we'll be right back, ready to hear from you in the time that we have.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Bess FM-100 on your dial. Keep listening.
BBC News. Hello, this is Jerry Smith. President Volodymyr Zelensky says nearly a third of Ukraine's power stations have been destroyed following the latest round of Russian airstrikes. At least 2 people have been killed at one energy plant in the capital, Kyiv. Other cities, including Dnipro, Kharkiv and Zhytomyr, were also attacked. Authorities are trying to repair the damage, but are concerned about whether the system can cope as winter approaches, as Hugo Bashega in Kyiv explains.
A wave of attacks targeting civilian infrastructure. It seems a deliberate strategy by Russia to damage this country's electricity infrastructure ahead of winter. We're starting to hear residents being concerned about how they're going to face the months ahead.
Tigrayan rebels have admitted losing control of one of the main cities in the region as an offensive by Ethiopian government forces and their Eritrean allies gathers pace. The TPLF rebels describe the loss of Shire as temporary. They urge Tigrayans to fight on fiercely. There are reports of thousands of residents leaving Shire. Indonesia's government says it will demolish the football stadium where a crush killed more than 130 people earlier this month. President Joko Widodo said the arena in the city of Malang didn't meet safety standards. Valja Baraputri has more.
The president keeps emphasizing on re-evaluating all stadium aspects of safety, both in the joint statement today with FIFA and in other occasions when he visited the stadium. How he says that the stadium is not meeting the standard of safety, comfort, and security. And he says that after demolishing or tearing down the building, he will build a new one per FIFA standard. And he says he wants to have a good example of a stadium with good facilities that ensure the safety of players and supporters.
China has claimed the protesters illegally entered the grounds of its consulate in the English city of Manchester and has called on the British government to give better protection. The statement follows an incident on Sunday in which anti-China protesters clashed with Chinese staff. Stephen McDonnell has more details.
Beijing and local police have glaringly different versions of the events which happened at the Chinese consulate in Manchester. At a regular media briefing, Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin said that disturbing elements had illegally entered the consulate grounds. However, according to Greater Manchester Police, a small group of men came out and dragged a protester into the consulate before assaulting him. Video footage would appear to corroborate this. It shows a man being forced through a gate, then he was kicked and punched while on the ground.
News from the BBC. Israel has summoned the Australian ambassador after the country reversed its decision to recognise Jerusalem as Israel's capital. The move has angered the Israelis, who've described the decision as short-sighted. It's been welcomed by the Palestinians. Canberra switched recognition to West Jerusalem in 2018 under the former Conservative Prime Minister Scott Morrison. He was one of a handful of world leaders to follow President Trump's lead in recognising the city as Israel's capital. The UN Children's Agency UNICEF has warned that Somalia could suffer rates of infant death unseen for half a century as warnings of a looming famine intensify. Jacob Evans reports.
A UNICEF spokesman in Geneva said a child was being admitted for medical treatment due to malnutrition in Somalia every minute. UNICEF said conditions in Somalia appear to be worse now than in 2011, when famine killed 250,000 people. An official declaration of famine is yet to be made, but children in Somalia are already dying from hunger. Years of drought, as well as conflict, have contributed to severe food shortages across much of the Horn of Africa.
Trains have been cancelled and some schools affected by a nationwide strike in France. Public sector workers walked out in sympathy with striking oil sector staff and also to protest at the rising cost of living. Only half of regional railway services are operating and international routes are also affected. An Iranian athlete who competed in a climbing championship in South Korea without covering her hair has now said her veil dropped by mistake. The comments appear on Elnaz Rekabi's Instagram page. She also said she was on her way back to Iran along with the rest of her team. Her family and friends said they feared for Miss Rekabi's safety after they lost contact with her. BBC News.
A difference you can hear. A difference you can feel.
Bess FM-100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Warning, warning. When there is a hurricane warning, button down, tie down, everything. Lift appliances and furniture off the ground and secure your valuable items. If you wanna port, secure it on land and turn on your yard if you a fisherman. Make sure you turn off every breaker, and before you sleep, turn off your generator. Flooding, that is a real danger. If you live a gully bank, river bank, or low line area, if you see flood waters are rising, get out, get out. Heed the warning. If your land starts slipping and sliding, get out, get out. Heed the warning. Hurricanes gonna happen, so be prepared.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Bess100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the
half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience, and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
I try and call cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. We are about to open the lines as we have previously indicated. We're going to be closing the lines at about 9 because we have to proceed down to the Parliament to make representations on your behalf, our behalf in terms of the proposed changes to the Integrity Commission Act. That's correct. So the lines are now open and it's 876-619-1508. 876-279-8473. Who is your hero this morning?
That's your question?
Yes, who is your hero?
Who's my hero this morning?
I think my hero is that gentleman who continues to do good, admits all of the trauma and the pain that he's feeling. Yes, the homeless gentleman.
The homeless, yes. You know, he came into my mind. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning to both of you.
Thank you,
morning,
sir. Good
How are you?
morning.
I'm good. I just quickly make my point. Is regarding the traffic in the school areas and the school gates.
Yes.
I realized there was a problem at Arden and they fixed it because they have somebody directing the traffic now. On South Camp Road before Sabina, there was a problem there also, but now they are directing traffic.
Yes.
So the problem that I see now down by Maraska Road with Woolmers is that there's nobody directing traffic. And like this one, my experience is you're in the line and a parent stop at the pedestrian crossing, allow the child to come out, wait until the child cross, then they move off. And two vehicles behind, another parents do it, and they just keep repeating, and the traffic just gets bad because there's nobody from Woolmers out there to, direct and control that. So I don't know if, you could make mention of it to somebody there.
It's true. It's a problem. It's a problem at Maraska Road in the mornings. You wonder what is happening. But on Arden Road, you've seen the improvement. With the police presence too, and also with the other school that you have. They need to do better, yeah.
Yeah, they need to just make an attempt, and it will be better.
Yeah, man.
Well, I love the point you made that in other areas where you have observed it, the introduction of a police or some traffic warden has made an
teacher
impact.
Does it for Arden.
Yeah, so it has made an impact, which means a simple fix could work in the short term. Thank you very much, sir, for making that contribution. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, my sister, my brothers. How you all doing?
We're
very well, thank you, Miss Elaine.
What you saying today?
Yes. To all my brothers and my sister right across from the east to the west, to the north and to the south, I love you all. Yes. Listen now. I hear a youth come on the TV the other day. I never catch your name. And it's the same thing when I said, the same thing I say, in the same want a facility. We have everything under one. You understand what I say?
Yes.
A one-stop area.
And Heroes Park Circle is that area. Because there's no other place in a Kingston where we can find to make the facility we're supposed to make. This is another little idiot thing, A first class thing I deal with, You understand?
Yes.
We need the kids, them, man. We need to have everything under one. Where the kids, them can learn, teach, and train. You understand? Them need them swimming pool. Them need them diving pool. You understand? The running track. All of the long jump and the long jump and the high jump and the next thing. They name pool or something like that.
That's at National Stadium.
Eh?
That's at National Stadium. All of those things they're talking about. Independence Park Complex.
Where is the area?
All of the things that you are requesting in terms of recreation and sporting facility are located at the Independence Park Complex.
Where is that?
Stadium. Stadium.
Stadium?
Yes, man.
Listen, man. I just sometimes people can't go to stadium. People can't just walk in a stadium just so. But with this side of the park now, them can walk in anytime and start with them things. You understand? We want them things there. Plus we want some rides for the kids. Them we put in like 6 big rides where big people pay and kids go on free. Because for the kids, them park will do it will benefit everybody. You understand? We'll make some walking chair, some walking stick for the old people. Them we can't come out of them old land. You understand? Not for them to there with the moon and star. Because them people them have them in some back room. And if them have a chair, them can push them out.
Okay.
You understand what I say?
Yes.
And down at the south part at the park, we want two big hotels down there. So one on the east side and one on the west side. Down at the south side, that's at the park. That's at the park down to land. You know down there. So you know what I talk.
You can figure.
Excuse me?
No, we're not sure. We're following the directions you're giving, Miss Elaine. I'm looking to Pastor who knows the area better than me. But I do take your point. Wherever you see the land available, you're saying development and some infrastructure is necessary to uplift the lives of the people in the area. And you're right about it.
Right. Mr. Andrew always want to put Parliament there. Make Parliament stay away the Parliament at last. You have burn unit, we want burn unit, we want hospital, bed and all them kind of things there.
Yes.
You understand?
Even now I see that the Minister of Health is saying that KPH needs a multi-billion-dollar overhaul to prevent it from collapsing. So I understand what you're saying, Miss Elaine.
So what may I say now? The money we Andrew have to build Parliament. If we give it and make we start build the park with it. But you do use it for something else. And we will find we all forget our money. The diaspora have to go help. Everybody have to go help.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand? And then
you have a vision.
And then this now we will seize crime. You understand?
You have a vision, Miss Elaine.
Like the kids them their home and molestation them against and all them things. When them just got a park. You understand me? I said the man them up on the sidewalk I play them domino, man just drive up and shoot them up. You understand? All of them things in the park where I put the little table them with them domino, the snake and lead upon them and the drop and all of you understand me? I say?
Yes, ma'am. I get the vision, Miss Elaine, and there's much in it that is very credible and noteworthy. Thank you so much for calling.
All right, Miss Elaine.
All right, Miss Elaine. All right. You see that Miss Elaine have a clear vision for her community?
Yes, ma'am.
And she has been consistent with it from the first time I received a call from her. She's been asking for certain infrastructure for the benefit of the children, the shut-ins, those who can provide a certain level of entertainment and relaxation for themselves. My money is on her. Good morning and welcome to the morning. Good morning. Welcome.
How do you do?
Very well, thank you.
I'm saying hello. Good morning. Welcome. To everybody who is listening. And you notice I say is?
Yes.
Listening, okay. And how is the beautiful lady shining this morning? Is it sunshine or star?
She's shining like gold this morning.
Oh.
You have to ask about the handsome.
That is beside the point. I'm on the move.
Absolutely.
I was thinking about the beauties of being together. And I thought about the children.
Yes.
And I got up this morning and hear this lady calling the children kids. They're not kids. When they behave like kids, now you call police.
So where you wake up where you heard that happening?
I heard this lady that just finished talking about.
Oh, Miss Elaine, Miss Elaine. Yes.
I used to picnic on children.
Okay.
And not children behaving like kids. We don't have no kids in Jamaica. We have children and picnic. Everything that happened in the big 8, we take it up.
So what do you think about her vision for the children to have a place?
Yes, but that vision is in the Kingston area. What about the country part? Are they going to put it in every place?
Well, is that your vision? That is mine. Because we have children everywhere.
Okay.
Yes, but she's starting with her home because she can see outside her window that is missing and necessary.
And it's very much needed. Where do the children play? Remember that song? Where do the children play?
I do remember a song like that.
Yeah, man. Where do the children play?
But
Important.
if you notice, the children can't even play at home because they're building these upstairs, building all over the place, and the picnic them have nowhere to play, and they have one little park beside it where only maybe a handful can go.
Well, I think that is what is fueling her dream.
Well, we need to do something about our children and letting them know how beautiful and nice they are. I don't believe in calling children no kid. Kid behave like goats are supposed to behave. And some of them is doing that now.
They're behaving like goats, calling them kids. They are children and picnic. All right?
They sound like from the tongue speak life.
Yeah, man. So we speak that they are children and picnic, as we call them. They picnic them.
Right.
Okay, man.
Them.
Yes.
Such a sweet word. Okay, I give you a thing to understand. There's a song that says, let's pick a rose. Then and Louisa will soon come home. So we're going to pick rose in a beautiful garden.
What that song? Story for another day. Thanks.
All right. What I wanted to say is that we keep on hearing that there's a third interest in Jamaica, apart from PNP and JLP. But the stations are not bringing it on, and I'm wondering why. Is it hiding in the dark, or the station don't want to have anything to do with them? The UIC? Station. You hear what I said?
The UIC, you mean?
UIC, yeah.
Well,
it's a third interest in this country. I think everything that is being discussed, they should pull them in and ask them questions. Why are they not doing that?
What do you think?
I don't believe that the door is closed to them. I believe that it requires resources, meaning both human resource and financial resource, to maintain a certain level of presence in the media. I think it's up to any citizen who is interested in ferreting out who they are, where they are, and supporting them to the point where you can see more of them. I believe that citizens can make the difference where that is concerned. They have come out, they've said it, they've established a website, they've been in enough places. They do a lot of presentations on YouTube, online. If you're a part of their community, they send you things. I don't believe there's a conspiracy to shut them down. I think that there is a level of effort that needs to be made all around to give prominence to these new entrants when they come into the political field, and it just requires support.
I also believe, because I've seen it, where they have people on different the other two set of old-time political leaders and establishment and different stations. And I don't think they had to have funds to do that. From what I heard, they called people and question them and ask them what is so and what is no.
Well, let me tell you something, Lady Love. In my view, if you aspire to take power and to take power in the service of the people, you have to show yourself capable and willing to fight for your spot. No one will give it to you. And you have to. I mean, if I want to hold high power, I have to show the capability to take it by force, meaning in the spiritual sense, of course. Meaning you don't settle, you're not waiting for an invitation. You make sure that every place that matters, you show up, and you show up with strength, and you don't accept being locked out, because remember now, it's competitive. So nobody's just gonna walk away and give you their lunch or you have to take it. That's the nature. That's the nature of it, man. That's the nature of it. But I know they need support. So suppose you want to be a kingmaker. If you see potential in them and you want to drive support to them, then that can be your contribution.
I see.
Because at the end of the day, it is gaining the heart of the people that is going to give them the victory that they desire. So the people have to show that they have an interest in it.
I see.
It's just a perspective I have. Yeah.
But then he might have to become like Jesus, walking around on the streets.
Hey, that's a part of it, you know. Look at what we are doing this morning. The morning connection is going off to the Integrity Commission. To speak in Parliament on the work that we've done here on air. That we were not invited to do any work. We took advantage of an opportunity, and in the result, we got an invitation. So, you know, you have to take it by force.
You have to do the things that you need to do.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So finally, I must say, be with you as you generate that love that is pouring out daily.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Keep it shining.
Thank you.
I love you all. I love your listeners. I just want them to know they're all wonderfully made, and they must accept that every day.
Fearfully and wonderfully made.
Thank you.
Yes, and give honor to the Creator. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
Love you.
All right, ma'am. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you, all of you.
Good morning.
The listeners all over the world. No.
Yes.
We just want to know why are you going to the Joint Select Committee, and what will be the discussion? And please give us the link number on YouTube again before you close off.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, earlier in the year, we had started talking about the Integrity Commission because of stuff that was happening. And so we canvassed views out of the audience, people calling and were talking about what they thought about Integrity Commission. It was about the Corruption Prevention Act and the Whistleblower Act? Well, the Whistleblower Act. And so out of that, we sent submissions to the Parliament, because they invited people to make submissions. And out of that, we are now going to appear before them to make our submissions in person. So we're going to be talking about what changes need to be made to the law in terms of the amendments that they are asking about.
And
Parliament.
It's a joint select committee of Parliament that is reviewing the amendments to the Integrity Commission Act.
Okay.
Yes. So that's why we're going. As Pastor said, we took advantage of provisions in the law and the system, the policy, that invited members of the public to review and make their contribution on where we think the legislation ought to go. That's just something we did voluntarily. Nobody is paying us to do it. We volunteered to do it because persons were calling us and making a lot of comments about how ineffective the system is. What is the commission doing about so and so? What does it mean that we are against corruption when we see so many things unchecked in the public space? And then you ask for us to repeat how you can view it. The meeting is at 10 o'clock this morning. You can view it on the Public Broadcasting Corporation of Jamaica's Facebook page, on their YouTube channel, on Digital Cable TV, it's on channel 13, and on Flow Cable, it is on channel 113.
On YouTube, what is the address on YouTube, please?
It is www.youtube.com/user/PBC Jamaica.
Oh,
PBC Jamaica, Public Broadcasting Commission, Corporation, sorry, PBC Jamaica.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, so.
And just please realize that you're taking up an extremely serious responsibility. You're going there to speak on behalf of a high person.
Yes. Yes.
And we are humbled. We continue to serve.
Yes. And, you know, and as I said, regardless of the outcome, we think that it is important that they invited us, because when they invite us, they invite our listeners. And we are always concerned that systems of government don't seem to be inclusive of the voice of the people.
And so we're seeking to change that.
Or we're seeking to change that. All right, sir.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in. We've come up on our 8:30
Yes, we've
break.
gone past the 8:30 break, so let's take the break.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
One in. A hurricane we name. How we rough. Whether we are man hurricane or woman hurricane. We want you know that. We come here to mash up building, blow down things and just like flood out this. We no rap, we no respect no one. So no take no chance with we. Listen to Ad Prem and prepare. Hurricanes do happen, so be prepared. Yes, be prepared.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Easy. Let not your hearts be troubled. Just believe in God Almighty and daily renew the mind. As we live in this time when fake is more valued than real, lies prefer the truth, the unnatural put above the natural. This is Lady Donna, aka Double D Don, with a new song, Almighty Jah, encouraging your people to keep the faith. God will make a way. Get your copy today. It's on all digital platforms. Lady Donna Official on Instagram, Facebook, AsujaRecords.com. For bookings, Asuja Record label at Gmail. Almighty Jah.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how we do I take taxi start?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. With them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. You hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
I try and call him because trust me.
Voiceless Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Morning Connection. Again, the lines are open 876-61150, 876-279-8473. Good morning, caller. How are you today?
Good morning, Chick. How are you?
I am good.
Percy the Chick. Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Good morning.
Chef, how are you today? You have some,
bad, my brother.
You have some sad news. What happened?
Pardon me?
You say you have some sad news? What happened?
Well, I mean by sad news, some expression that some people don't have no home training or don't take no home training, because sometimes they are saying something on the radio because your views is not my views.
Okay.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And when I consider and said, when we're looking at how things want to run in Jamaica, and I said I didn't grow that way. I grew in at the right and proper way. My government and by my parents. You understand? And when you check it out, I see what happened in Africa, where when the government take over and try to take away the people, the progressive people who have their land, and take it away and take it away from the rich people. And then after this country just deteriorate. And I said I don't want Jamaica to come like that. You understand?
Which country are referring to? Sheppy?
In Africa. You remember that?
You know which country? About 30 odd countries in Africa or more. Which country are you referring to specifically?
I don't remember if in South Africa or where there's the African man president, the name again.
Miss Mandela?
With the land.
Mandela?
Yeah, you hear me?
Zimbabwe is talking about Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe, Mugabe, which one?
Yeah, Mugabe. When you take away the land and give to the take away people land and give to the poor, give to people and poor people. And I don't believe it though. Me said maybe Jamaica might come in that way, and I don't want it to come that way. Because yours are yours and mine are mine. You understand? And so on. When I take it off,
but Sheppy, that's not a right understanding of what President Mugabe did. If you're going to make the comparison, you should make it fairly. President Mugabe, but no, we're not going to do it on a false premise. This is too important. President Mugabe, by force, took land that had been promised from a group of people who had enough and shouldn't be keeping to that land, to give it to the poor people. There was an issue about payment for the land, which the British government said they would have paid for the land so that the people who were intended to receive land could get it. And years passed without the payment being made, and with many arguments being posed concerning this land, while people remained homeless and landless. Jamaica has a similar situation. So I'm glad you raised Mugabe, because the leadership went to the extreme of bringing in the bulldozers to clear the land and give it to the people who needed it.
I should really explain myself first before you make your comment in that way. You know?
All right. So, but you said you don't want people to take, you don't want the government to take private people land, your land and my land, to give it to those who need land.
The wrong way.
But there's no right way in which they could take my land and your land and give it to somebody else.
I know land right now in my neighborhood.
Yes.
If I was a little boy, this lady lived there.
Yes.
And he gave the land to government to feed him until he died.
Yes.
And a few people was buried on the land. And nobody ever wanted the land. And this guy come on here and seek about the land and get the land. And he put up in nice house, his son and his daughter come and put up their house on it. And we say, look at that now. Even where the people bury them put their house there.
So you agree with me then that some of the land that the government... Yes.
And when I look, nobody never go so boy, I go take the land and do it because of what? Everything did run there, the guy go and he pay Finland and he put on his house on it. Nobody can run him off.
So there's land then.
Well, I'm a baby man, make me just and then you come in.
Boy, Shep, if you call me baby, you know, I think my husband going to send a note to you.
No, man. When you have a nice voice, you know, and when you have everything there, you know, I have to give you that credit.
All right, I give you one pass.
Your husband proud of you, man, because you have a lovely voice and everything out there, you know. And you know that.
All right, Sheppy, I'm well buttered up. Go on and make the point.
Yeah, man. The husband nice one because you know he understand you, and you understand her. And put it this way, said, look here. I can't redefine that word that is present.
I've distracted you from your point. Go on, make your point.
Yeah, man. And when I look, if right now, as far as I see, how things are running in Jamaica, I appreciate it from I was a little boy. Because you want a piece of land, my daddy give me my land. And what I have done, my father died before me severely. And my mommy said, look here, you go and do it, you know, because we knew that we don't want so you understand? And we did that. Some of us in hot water right now because they do like what some of us have done, you understand? And recently relatives want to come and take the land. I know go so.
Okay.
And right now when government have their land, I don't believe a man should just go pan it and without asking any question and put house pan it and then you don't big bully woolly. We don't believe in that.
We don't believe in that. We don't believe in that either,
Shepherd.
We are in agreement on that, my brother. It should not be done like that. But I hear you saying, notwithstanding your comment on recent events, you're saying that persons do need land and there should be a proper way in which persons can acquire land for their needs.
And that is the way when I was a youth.
Okay then. All right, Chippy.
All right. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. Good point.
No,
go ahead.
Finish it, you know.
Oh, finish that, my man. Yes.
All right. I'm going to show you something again. Another thing, because we don't get to the right point, you know. I'm just
beg you make the right point, sir.
Up in a Sheppy, because we have a limited.
I'll make a cut it up fast. Look, you know, I remember when Mr. Malik said, you got to give some people land. And you can build a house pan it and plant a tree.
Yes.
If you don't road the land, it's going to take it away from you.
Yes.
And Mr. Siaga said, no, it must not happen that way. If you give a person land, and what I'm going to do when I come in power, I'm going to give them title that they can for the land where them own, where they have for themselves. That means that the tree that they plant on it, they can leave it for their grandchildren and children and children. And I believe that is the right. You can go look at that and give the person the kind of work, you can go take it away from you. Nothing no spell so for me.
All right, sir. Thanks.
All right, right and proper way.
All right, thank you.
Come to the point where I go come. Yesterday I was just spelling out certain things on this program here about how things, just like what I said to you. I hear when the person look at me and tell me, said, how 3 man raped me off. And Mr. Man even sing song about that, you know, about AIDS business. I tell people, say, if you go in there, kind of dirty way there. Because I don't believe in that. The exhaust pipe may have to flow out.
Then, Sheppy.
Nothing else.
Sheppy.
You really are taking up my time with that.
What the man say? You must make some things pass your man. You know it is not true.
Yes, but the first time he said what Mr. Siaga did me, you know. He tell another
okay. All right, Sheppy, thanks.
And you must make this program and show him if he can have manners and when a person expresses their views.
All right.
Then.
Coming with dirt word.
Yes.
Okay, we will not. Thank you, Sheppy. All right then.
Okay, sir. Cool.
Good. You know, it's important, even as we go before the select committee. There's something in the Gleaner yesterday. There was something on Sunday. Mr. Golden, the leader of the opposition, you saw it gazetted in terms of his declaration.
Yeah.
But then on Monday, yesterday, the Gleaner had made a request to the Integrity Commission, and they said they couldn't make no comment on it because whereas Mr. Golden's declarations were up to par, the leader of the Prime Minister's one, they said they couldn't. What is the word?
They said they couldn't comment on it.
They couldn't comment on it yet.
And when they publish, it's not an audit, meaning they don't go behind the scenes of the declaration and confirm for themselves that what you have said is so. But they look at it and the declaration is on the face of it compliant with the laws, with the questions asked. In other words, the declaration is like a math question.
Yeah.
It adds up.
Right.
For the Prime Minister's own, it's not adding up one way or another. They made no comment. But it's clear from what they said that for the leader of the opposition, that one, they could see that it was compliant with the questions asked and so on.
Yeah.
Clearly, they can't say the same for the PM, but they have not indicated where the disconnect exists.
Yeah.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome, sir.
Can I ask you a couple questions, please?
By all means.
This is Bess FM, right?
Yes, it is Bess FM.
All right. He's a Javiite.
Yes.
Tell me, Labour right in a power for how much years, right?
Mm-hmm.
PMP in a power for how much years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rasta Selassie in a power longer than the whole of them.
Mm-hmm.
Then tell me something now. Africa better by the three of them, or black people better than it with the three of them in power for so long?
I would say no. We're not seeing the improvement to the people of African descent that is desirable.
So that is why we say Garvey is him now for life. And whosoever stand in our way, we don't have to fight them. Just keep out of them way and make them avoid we and keep out of our way. Because we not into no war, Marcus Garvey never come with the sword.
But you know, he was prepared to take it up if it became necessary, because it's not like we can keep out of their way. How are we going to keep out of their way?
We can keep the three of them out of our way by way of repatriation. And who forgo where them forgo? Them go where them go and don't cross our border. Because we show them do for nearly 100 or 200 years. Just like the European slave master, especially Selassie, who would take up poor people and go plant coffee in Ethiopia, and poor people have to demonstrate against him. Me not care who will come kill me. Me's a job I killed death.
I mean, you know that it is. I would say that there is such a great attraction and just plain common sense to much of the philosophies of Marcus Garvey. And he was speaking at a time when certain extreme and dramatic measures were required to separate out the African from the herd and focus on building ourselves. But here we are, so many years later. You talked about Rasta. Your Leonard P. Howell was posthumously awarded national honors yesterday. It seemed to have zero impact on the social consciousness, even for the Rasta man. I don't know how you feel about it.
It is a blockage to black people progress.
Who? Well, see, so you see,
black people not good at power they want.
Okay.
All right. So now
Garvey never wanted power.
Stand for peace.
But you wanted political power. Remember, he started a political party.
Yeah, but he never started with no gun.
No, yeah, but I understand that. But what I'm trying to focus your thoughts on is that Marcus Garvey himself understood that political power was necessary to change the fundamentals of our experience. So while we can keep
exactly what him come with, I Selassie and Britain block it with them big guns.
Yeah, because a man is not going to give up. Those who are holding power are not going to give it up. You have to wrest it out of their hand. I mean,
well, I want a piece of board for knock when you say that piece there. I want a piece of board. Believe you me.
Yeah,
right.
they don't give it to us.
Nobody gives up power easily. No, nobody gives up power easily, my friend. That is the real truth that there is. Nobody not going to give up power.
Give it up.
Yeah, man. So
make them go and fight, man. Make them go and fight. Make them go and fight, because all it's going to come out to is blood and more blood. We're not into that.
No, we're not.
I will have no respect for my Selassie in our family.
You know,
I can mash up black people life and the world. So they can come kill me. Me not care.
Well, the throne sits empty, and there's a reason. When God, from whom all power and authority is given.
What do you think is the reason, miss?
Why the throne is empty?
Yes.
Because in my understanding of things, there is no unrighteous government that is going to be returned to a throne. Once a certain judgment reach you, you have to walk a path of repentance in order to regain your throne. So if I see a throne sitting empty, yes.
That word we used a while ago, the path of repentance.
Yes.
You what Mr. Ermiah said yesterday?
No, I didn't listen to him.
We have to look at the difference between myth and reality.
Yes, true.
I will never forget those two words.
Myth and reality.
Myth and reality. Rastaism is myth, not reality.
That's what he said.
Yes, no, I never said this.
Oh, that's the conclusion you have come to.
That is what me said.
Yes.
But him said there's a difference between myth and reality.
In every situation.
And I am saying that Rastaism is not reality because they would have been a repatriation, which is the biggest problem that people have in the world. You see how we are fighting for land in Jamaica?
In Jamaica, yes.
Look how much land they are mirror.
But you know... Yeah,
so much gold.
But you know, for you to get repatriation, you are bringing to mind now the Jeremiah letter to the exiles, because an instruction was given that when you go into exile, a part of your redemption is to bloom where you are planted, to build cities, grow in numbers, and you will...
Never. We, the Gabriel people, don't accept that statement.
I understand. I understand.
Where we are planted.
No,
that Almighty give us Africa, that is where He planted us.
Yes, but you see, we talked about...
Like Britain,
but you just talked about being in exile.
But we talked about the path to redemption. And a critical part of it is you must grow while you're in exile, because you will go back to your place of beginning. You will go back to your promised land, your homeland. But it is after a process.
After time.
I'm just putting that forward because you can't cheat the process. And it is why the throne sits empty in Ethiopia. If you are not prepared to walk...
It shall ever empty.
Well, there are some...
What Haile Selassie have done to black people.
All right, my brother. We have one more call to take as we move to the 9 o'clock hour. And I thank you. Thank you, too, for the points you have made. I do not think that will happen. You're speaking to us. You're covered.
I know you beautiful people not into that. I'm sure.
No, we're not into that either.
But when you speak with us...
I'm sure you're not into that, so I take back that.
Yeah, when you speak to us, your words are covered.
Yeah, man.
All right, thank you so much, too.
All right. I hope you have a very good day, the both of you.
Yes,
bless you, sir. Thanks.
Yeah, praise Him for...
Good morning and welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. All right, so the lines are closed now. We are rushing out of here. We have 5 minutes to the hour of 9. We're going to just say our usual thank yous. We are grateful for every call received, every expression of interest and probing question to keep us on point. We do what we do not only because we believe in it, but because we know that it is necessary that some people step into the gap and do what is necessary. I was saying to the person who inquired about the UIC that in as much as the UIC has offered themselves a service, the people who see a need for change must surround and support and lift up, because it will not happen if we're just kind of sitting back waiting on someone else to do the heavy lifting.
But the word is take responsibility.
Yeah, personal responsibility. Jump in it and mess it up.
Be the change.
Be the change that you want to see.
So as we go forth.
Yes.
To speak. Those who pray that indeed when we go before them, you'll put words in our mouth. We have prepared things of what we're going to say. But some of the times in the moment and revelation comes that you have to speak it into the situation. But we have decided to go this path, and we hope that the words that we speak today will be ringing in their ears, that indeed it will bring about change and transformation.
Long after we have departed.
Yes, because you've often heard me say visitation of the 63 and the 21. We need to do that.
Oh, this is the visitation. We are the visitors.
We are the visitors.
Yes. All right. Thank you all for participating on air, online, and in the studio. We're going to head out now. We'll leave you in the loving hands of Engineer Lloyd.
And some of the music. Where have we lost our identity?
What is our departure music, Lloydie? All right. 400 years. Yeah, man. It's all right.
difference you can feel.
Bess FM-100 on your dial. Keep listening.
One in. A hurricane we name. How we rough. Whether we are man hurricane or woman hurricane. We want you know that. We come here to mash up building, blow down things and just like flood out place. We no rap, we no respect no one. So no take no chance with we. Listen to Hot Prem and prepare. Hurricanes do happen, so be prepared. Yes, be prepared.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
The Aeronautical School of the West Indies presents Squawk 876, a fun and informative program where you will learn about flying, aircraft systems, weather, maintenance, and much more. Tune in to Bess100 FM this and every Wednesday at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is your radio pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Bess100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
That no sound healthy at all. Get healthy, my friends. Stay balanced. Tune into this station, Bess FM-100, every Saturday morning, 8 o'clock to 9, for this wonderful program, Your Health Today, with me, Dr. Clarion Palmer. Yes, get healthy, get healthy, get healthy. Stay balanced. Bess FM-100, Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, with me, Dr. P. Get healthy.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
At 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Hey, my listening crew. This is your late afternoon companion to Shikalu on your 100 FM dial. Make sure you tune in and turn up every Tuesdays from 5 until 7 p.m. for OTAWTL. That is on the ear with me, yours truly, a program that will leave you inspired, entertained, and informed. With the credit giveaways each week. Street Link, where we go in the streets to find out from the people what is hot and what is not, and so much more. And guess what? You can now voice your birthday shout-outs on our WhatsApp line at 876-438-9442, and we'll play them live on air. So what are you waiting for? Turn up Tuesdays from 5 to 7 p.m. right here on Bess100 FM, the station that is sizzling every day.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Order. Now my court is in session. Will you please stand? First, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Judge 1000 Years. Some people call me Judge Better Must Come. I am from Africa, and I come to try all you politicians for selling out black people. In my court, only me talk, as I am vexed. This is the people's court. Now what you have here today?
Well, Your Honor, we have defendants, Senator Sankey Singh and Senator Change Your Mind. Also here is Mr. Religious Belief, but I think we shall deal with the senators there. At a later date, we will deal with religious belief.
All right. Politician Sankey Singh and politician Change My Mind, you are brought here for tricking black people by promising them good living every 5 years. You have been selling out black people to foreigners. Your Honor. Hush up. And not finished yet.
What you want to do? Promise me to? I see the rich getting richer and the poor dying.
Your Honor, fundamentally, if I might say something at this point in time.
Cut up! This is the people's court, and I'm not allowing any politicking here. If you disturb me again, I will give you 1,000 years for contempt of court. You are also charged for charging the people too much taxes because of your mismanagement, spending money then taxing the people for it. You keep borrowing money from the IMF and the World Bank in the people's name, continuing the oppression of black people by the same colonial masters. Why you can't learn? No so-called third world country have been able to break loose from these money hawks. You have black people in a vicious cycle.
If it wasn't for me, black people in this country would still be worshipping the Statue of Liberty. Well, tell me how come you change your mind now?
Shut up! What you trying to do? Confuse the court? I am giving you both 1,000 years on the first account. From 1938 until now, you have been dividing black people. You're promising the people them right back into slavery. No. The only thing you have been truthful about is your thing about out of many one.
Your Honor, that was taken from my Uncle Sam.
Yes, because there's only one people that clean the street. There's one people that eat out a garbage heap. One people that cut sugar cane. One people in the sun and rain. And one people that tile. And there's one people that see a collect the kyle. And speaking of Uncle Sam, I shall also charge you for giving rise to crack and cocaine in this country by killing off the ganja plant that used to help our foreign exchange deficit. I am giving you 1,000 years for the crimes of Anthony Gurley, Godfather Dan, and Mr. Crackstone.
But, Your Honor,
shut up! You should be hanged, but I shall be lenient and give you both 1,000 years. I have been noticing that in your airports, only outgoing passengers are caught with drugs, but never tourists. Yet we don't grow cocaine here, but it keeps getting more common and common.
But the tourist business is very vital to our national development.
Vital? Vital to who? With your all-exclusive hotels? Tourists will soon think that Nigger is the next island by itself. You claim that the poor can't take no more, but you're not giving them anything. I see more Benz than nada, and I hear that a car that costs 20,000 in Miami costs 800,000 here. What you do with all those extra money at customs? You keep talking about tourist harassment. What you call what them doing with Jamaicans in foreign? Every day them talking about Jamaican posse.
Your Honor, as you can plainly see, when I was in power, things were going to get right. I had all the white people with money on my side. All the brown people were starting to feel as if they were living in Miami.
But what about black people?
Well, as I was just getting around to them, I lost the elections, Your Honor. That is no excuse, Your Honor. Before him, black people were getting very self-sufficient. Brown people were starting to acquire homes in Miami. That is because they were running away, Your Honor. White people started to say, I and I. Your Honor, if it wasn't for him and his black ideology, we would reach much further. Your Honor, him never have poor people on the mind. That is why we're having so much trouble now. Your Honor, it's him change, not me. Your Honor, him have a party of gangs. It's him say so himself.
Shut up! I see no difference between both of you. You both following the same thing that has and is still keeping down black people.
When you're not in power, Your Honor, it is easy to say this and that. But when you have power, it is very different. A different song you have to sing.
I am giving you both another 1,000 years. None of you have the solutions to black people problem. I suggest you read the philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey. Study him carefully. Then I might just grant your pardon. And another thing, before on the beginning of the sentence, both of you should visit Arcade and see how poor women run business from nothing. Let the domestic helpers show you how to use $130 to feed a family of 6 for 1 week. Now take them away.
us the teaching of Marcus Garvey. Kebranegas means glory of kings. Give I and I Selassie and keep the images of lies for yourself. People without a vision perish like suicide. You tell me it's not about color, still you refuse to take the picture off the wall. All you do is trick the brothers and keep them confused. They don't know who to call on in this spiritual war. Now tell me of a paradise in the sky when that's a lie. And now tell me I was born in sin and shaped in iniquity when love created I. Look how many prophets tried to open our eyes. You can't fool me. Look how they're treating us. New millennium slavery, hiding the chains and still beating us daily. Now we're mentally poisoned to fight with black skin. And bleaching at the inting, far out and far in. Sin, you tell me it's not about color, still you refuse. Take the picture out your books. I know that's not how he looks. Kush. All you do is trick the brothers and keep them confused. They don't know who to call on in this heretical war. Don't tell me of a paradise in the sky, and that's a lie. And not tell me I was born in sin and shaped in iniquity when love created I. Look how many prophets tried to open our eyes. You can't fool me. The teaching of Marcus Garvey. Kebranegas means glory of kings. If I and I Selassie, I keep your images of lies for yourself. People without a vision perish like suicide. You tell me it's not about color, still you refuse to take the picture off the wall. All you do is trick the brothers and keep them confused. They don't know who to call on in this heretical war. Now tell me of a paradise in the sky, and that's a lie. Don't you tell me I was born in sin and shaped in iniquity when love created I. Look how many prophets tried to open our eyes. Can't fool me. So now tell me of a paradise in the sky, and that's a lie. And now tell me I was born in sin and shaped in iniquity when Jah created I. Look how many prophets tried. Look how many prophets tried. Where
civilization, it has been claimed that wars and rumors of wars has been created over who has the best radio station. So the nation prayed and asked the gods for their intervention, and it was revealed unto the people. There is no comparison to Bess100 FM.
You're simply the best.
Bess FM 100.5 on your dial. Keep listening.
One in. A hurricane we name. How we rough. Whether we are man hurricane or woman hurricane. We want you know that. We come up and mash up buildings, blow down things and death life. Flood out this. We no rap. We no respect no one. So no take no chance with we. Listen to Hot Prem and prepare. Hurricanes do happen, so be prepared. Yes, be prepared.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
ya from anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
you on my mind. And now you are here. I said it's okay to see what we can do, baby. Just me and you gonna steer it up. I would say, little darling, steer it up. Come on, baby. Come on and steer it up. Yeah. Little darling, steer it up. Oh. Steer it together and blaze the fire. Then I satisfy you all desires. Then I steer it together every minute. All you got to do, baby, is keep it in it and steer it up. Come on, little darling, steer it up. I will make this baby. Come on and steer it up. Oh, oh. Little darling, steer it up. And then quench me when I'm thirsty. Come and cool me down, baby, when I'm hot. Your recipe, darling, is so tasty, and you sure can steal your part, so steer it up. Oh, little darling, steer it up. Come on, girl. Come on and steer it up. Oh, little darling, steer it up.
Them can't take my soul, you know. Hey. them. So you lock them down and you think that you've won, but them are all a meditation out in the iration. Them a balance the far eye and I live out right. So tell me where you are gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now that the youth are all them roots. You can't water down and dilute. You can't hide the truth from the youth. You can't steal the fruit, not the roots. Cause the youth are all them roots. Hey, 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 oh, oh. Give them cartoons, turn them fools. You poison their foods, and you think that you've won, but them are all a meditation out in the iration. Them a follow Rastafari, and I live out right. So tell me where you are gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now that the youth are all them roots. You can't water down and dilute. You can't hide the truth from the youth. You can't steal the fruit, not the roots. Cause the youth are all them roots. Come with your negative spirits, but the youth are not feeling. Come around with your white lies, trying to blind everyone's eyes, but them are all a meditation out in the iration. Them a follow Rastafari, and I live upright. So tell me where you are gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now that the youth are all them roots. You can't water down and dilute. You can't hide the truth from the youth. You can't steal the fruit, not the roots. Cause the youth are all them roots. You can't water down and dilute. You can't hide the truth from the youth. You can't steal the fruit, not the roots. Hey, cause the youth are all them roots. Live up now, you live up now, live up now. Hey, live up now, you live up now. Youth, all your roots. Hey, them can't water down and dilute. Them can't hide the truth from the youth. You can't steal the fruit, not the roots. Cause the youth are all them roots. Water down and cause the youth are all them roots. Water down and dilute. Well, I give roots. Hide the truth from the youth. Youth, well, yeah. Steal the fruit, to take me through. I know one day I must and I will free myself from everything that holds me captive. Gonna be free like a bird in the sky. Gonna be free, gonna fly so high. Gonna be free, gonna free my mind. Gonna be free, gonna fly so high. Life is so sweet and I don't wanna die, but this burden I bear could be hard sometimes. Food scarce, so me juggle everywhere. Sometimes we make a move, me can't find no bus fare. Go look for Mama Jai, she said nothing not dead there. Pan the youth them face, I see the pain.
When the war I want to get the most money. When I say we're hungry, it's time to cry. But you stay strong. We have to survive the giddy.
Gonna be free like a bird in the sky. Gonna be free, gonna fly so high. Gonna be free, gonna free my mind. Gonna be free, gonna fly so high. Youth in a garden, youth in a jungle, youth in a Rima, Augusttown. Youth in a Flancas, De La Vega, Riverton, back to Anmod Town. I know it's hard sometimes, but we not give up. Oh no. Matches lane, 100 lane, plain land, white out, grand spin, Norwood, back bush, Spanish town. Don't you give up. Gonna be free like a bird in the sky. Gonna be free, gonna fly so high. Gonna be free, gonna free my mind. Gonna be free, gonna fly so high. One thing I know is that I must survive. One thing I know is that I must rise. Every day I rise on a prayer. That's all I got to take me through. I know one day I must and I will free myself from everything that holds me captive. Gonna be free like a bird in the sky. Gonna be free, gonna fly so high. Gonna be free, gonna free my mind. Gonna be free, gonna fly so high. I see them coming after my soul, wanting to take control. Wanna give me laughs, wanna give me bling, wanna give me all the material things. I hear them talking about what the world has to offer. Girl, what you doing? Don't you see what they have done to Bedouin and Marcus, Jesus and all of the prophets? But I'm not afraid, no, no, I'm not afraid, no, I'm not afraid, no. If them a come, let them come, 'cause I'm protected by the Most High One. They don't mind when you fall behind and can't pay your bills on time. Prostituting and standing in a them government line. No, and they don't mind when you waste your time coming up with some stupid lines, influencing the youth them for snot dance for life. I can't see your youth them strive. No, they don't mind. But I'm not afraid. No, no, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. No, if them are come, let them come, 'cause I'm protected by the Most High.
Radio, as you know it, is extinct. This is a new species of music station. This is the all-new 100. Why change and buy into technology?
That's the best.
Yes, oh, no. No, 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 no. Me get a fresh from the stream in the valley. If you walk go to school, couple mile me a chatty. Me grow with me granny as a source for me happy and a chandelier and glitter about the road that did rugged and steep. Grandma say me no fit on thief. Rise, stand up on you African feet and shine. I know where you come from and where you are go. Just let your family proud and take the lead, child. We born to do greatness. Greatness is the power inside. Won't waste my life. True doubts and fear in the test of time. We born to do greatness. Greatness is the power inside. Won't waste my life. No, no. Thousand mile begin with one step is the adage. Failure is for weak, experience teach knowledge. Even if you never get to begin college and the journey for success, don't fear the challenge. Back in the days, my life did so a simple arrange. Money was the vegetable and we need the cabbage. Hungry vandalism, true poverty do the damage. Me go through all of them days, they like a Daniel with the savage beast. Yet still we never rob and thief. Turn to crack and steal like the trash and heap them. Said the ghetto is a trap concrete. Dirty jungle, but me and the rebel lion feet. Cause we born to do greatness. Greatness is the power inside. Won't waste my life. True doubts and fear in the test of time. We born to do greatness. Greatness is the power inside. Won't waste my life. We are the leaders of the world. The future tomorrow. Leading golden treasure. Regardless where I'm found. Please don't ever judge me because of where I'm from. Remember I was stolen from the motherland. We gon' make it. 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 We born to do greatness. Greatness is the power inside. Won't waste my life. True doubts and fear in the test of time. We born to do greatness. Greatness is the power inside. Won't waste my life. No, no. We born to do greatness. Greatness is the power inside. Won't waste my life. True doubts and fear in the test of times. We born to do greatness. Greatness is the power inside. Won't waste my life.
One cell, them know
We
this.
are gonna make it. Win the prize and take it. We are gonna make it. Four corner, global. We are strive and a reach to be goal. Them a fight and a spy through them in control. Them a real that. But a long time, we a fight for a slice of the bread. Them a scream and a dream and a wish.